celebrity endorsed tequilas. They're just celebrity endorsed. Did they go there and actually pick the
They
palette?
don't. No. A lot of them just put their name on it.
Thank you. This is my name on it. This is my hard work. This is going to the agave fields, walking the fields, learning the process.
You're watching Chic Innovator. Stay tuned for fascinating topics, fascinating people that have style and are innovative. You're watching Chic Innovator. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free. So you're pouring your energy and others.
Elsewhere.
Yes, elsewhere.
I think the grief hit me when Becky went to high school and I lost my mother right after losing my husband.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah, so that was like 3 deaths, right, right back to back. So that's when I think the grief hit me. And so for the last 9 years, we would travel back and forth to California. And that was my happy place. So I think that helped me. That healed that part of me.
Why was California your happy place?
The mountains and the people and just the sunshine every day. Mm-hmm. And so she goes, okay, Mom, I really like California too. So I'm only applying to colleges here.
Mm-hmm. Which is why she's out there.
And I'm there too.
Yeah.
Because I'm her only parent. I had to be there with her. So I didn't have time to really grieve until after I was able to get her in high school and everything else. And
it sounds like you used nature to ground you.
It did.
Yeah, because I think people forget how nature can really ground you. Mm-hmm. I always advise my friends, there's an exercise that's really good. Take off your shoes
and walk barefoot
on the ground, and you really feel it.
Yeah, that's called grounding.
Grounding, exactly.
And I do that.
It's the best thing
for you. It is the best.
I tell people to do it all the time. Whenever I go on vacation, sometimes I want to do it here in Chicago when it's really cold and you can't.
No, you can't.
So I have to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
It's my excuse to go on a vacation.
That's great.
So I can take off. Because that grounding, makes such a huge difference.
Yes,
because you become, once again, part of something that's so much bigger than you. Right? And it helps you heal and recover.
So that was one of my coping mechanisms, grounding.
I love it.
Therapy.
Yes.
All of that, and I'm so glad, because I kept telling my mom before she passed, I'm going to move to California. She's like, oh, I don't know, I've never. So I took her there, and she loved it. And so she would always say, oh, Toya, the mountains. I love the mountains. And so I was like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So I'm there half of the year maybe, and then here to be there for Becky in case she wants to come home on a weekend and just do laundry. I never want her to feel that she's alone because she only have this one parent. So that is
I'm in the same position. It's like, it's so funny. I got a call the other day. I'm on with somebody rather important. And I said, well, I've got to wrap up the call. It's the mothership calling. Mm-hmm. I go, the mothership calling? And I go, it's my daughter. She's now the mothership.
That's right.
It's like, and I got off the phone and I told Alina, who's my I said, she goes, boy, that's a switch. And I said, yeah, because you're like center of the universe for me.
Exactly.
It's what ends up happening.
It is.
So you've got these friends, and they're right there for you. They're supporting you. Tus hermanas, tus amigas,
yes.
And so you want to create something. So tell us about that, like, how you decided what you were going to create, because there was obviously something that you weren't getting with some of these other.
No, and I love them so much, these friends of mine. And I said, this is going to be a love letter. This tequila is a love letter to you guys. And the friend that's a psychiatrist, she's like, do I need to talk to her? What she said, she's going to go, to Mexico and start figuring out how to make a tequila.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm fine, but this is what I want to do. And it's when you're drinking and with your friends, it's the bonding. because everyone's sitting there talking and it's good times.
Yeah.
And if you're with friends, you feel the love and it's friendship. So when I told them at first, after they get over the initial shock, they were 100% behind me. So for the last 3 years, I've been working on this.
Okay.
You know, I would go back and forth to Mexico.
Where were you going?
Jalisco. Yeah.
Yes.
And,
Which is where the real tequila comes from.
Yes,
Yes,
Jalisco. And when I finally found the palette that I liked, I came back and I said, okay, guys, this is it. I'm doing it. And I'll be ready by next summer. That was in August of last year. And I did it. And in June, we had a bottling party. And all of these sister friends, my Hermanas Amigas, they also came. And the rest is history.
No, I got to taste it, and it's just fabulous.
Oh, the bottle, I want it, first of all, to look like a perfume bottle or a diamond.
Which it does. It's such a gorgeous bottle. I mean, it's very. So you designed this?
I designed all of this.
Okay.
When I designed, I had a sketch person just sketch. I said, I want these 4 women that are my ride or die. I want them to be interlocking, but I want them to look like
they're so chic,
women.
So feminine, so gorgeous,
and so
so powerful.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very.
It's great.
We will,
yeah.
narrate on this, but they are so powerful.
Those are real women.
Yeah, I love that.
And I tell everyone, I said, Oprah Winfrey's not the only one that has a gal, that has a best friend.
Yes,
I have about 4 or 5 gals.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
This just didn't happen. This is a sisterhood and a bond over 30 years, some of them, since I was 10. And so...
So hermanas, just to be clear,
yes,
means sisters.
Yes.
And amigas means friends.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of times your amigas become your sisters,
they
right?
do. I have 5 sisters.
Yeah.
Because I'm the youngest of 9.
Yeah.
But I also have these sisters that are closer than, I guess, any brother, you know?
Yeah.
And they just encouraged me. And they still encourage me, They hold me accountable. When you want to surrender, when you want to give up, they wouldn't let me. So how could
and that's
you
a true
repay?
friend.
How
right?
could you repay someone like
Yes,
that, right?
Yes, that's
But
a
to
true friend.
give them a tequila.
Yeah. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand and that I got to understand well is the liquor industry in Illinois and all over the country. I actually was on the national board and would travel all over because there's a regulatory board that governs, and I was part of the board of that. And it's a very tough industry, and it's extremely male dominated.
Yes.
Very male dominated.
Yes.
So with that, tell me, now you decide to go, get into that industry. You decide to create a tequila, and
then I'm an African American woman.
And you're African American.
Yes.
Tell us about that, trials and tribulations.
That is, I think people are in shock when they see me.
Okay.
Because no matter if I'm out with my Latino friends and we're doing tastings, or I'm at a bar, or whether they, the first person they go up to is the Latino person. They say, oh, this is your tequila? And they're like, no, this is hers. And they're like, this is hers? I'm like, yeah. So that, just getting used to the culture shock, I think.
Okay.
That I'm doing a tequila. But other than that, it has been so well received.
Hey, George Clooney did it, and he did well. You can do it too.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. But other than that, that has been my biggest obstacle, because everyone knows, how did you do this?
Yes.
Why did you do it? There is a story behind it, and this is. I wanted to do wine at one point, and I said no. When they started bringing the tequilas, and I'm like, these are, even the celebrity endorsed tequilas. They're just celebrity endorsed. Did they go there and actually pick the
They
palette?
don't. No. A lot of them just put their name on it.
Thank you. This is my name on it. This is my hard work. This is going to the agave fields, walking the fields, learning the process.
Which
3
are
years.
beautiful. Like, if you ever get an opportunity to go to Mexico, to go to Jalisco, and really see the process, go into the fields, it's really life-changing, because it's so many families that are dedicated to that work, and it's really beautiful to see and understand.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I fell in love with it. So for the last 3 years, I would go back every year, and this is what I believed to be.
And how do you recommend people drink this? Shots or do you sip?
Sip, and I wouldn't mix it with anything.
Okay.
It is so smooth. That's what I told him when I met with the master distiller. He said, "Okay, tell me what kind of tequila. Because tequila will burn, you know."
Yeah.
I said, "I don't want to burn."
Depending on what kind of
Yeah.
tequila you have, though.
Right, and
Yeah.
I said, "I don't want it to burn."
Right.
And I said, "I want it smooth." I said, "I want it sexy and smooth." He's like, "Toya, how do I make
want it
tequila?"
sexy
Yeah,
and
and I
smooth.
said,
I
"I
like
want it
that.
sexy and smooth." He
Yeah.
said, "How do you get sexy from tequila?" I said,
No,
"I
you
would
do.
know.
I mean,
I
I
would
think
know when I
tequila
get
can
it."
be very
Yes.
sexy. Yes.
And so when we got with this one and they brought me this palette and I tasted, I said, "This is it. It's smooth and sexy. And it's extremely smooth." And I was extremely pleased. And I said,
And it is
"Oh my
smooth. I tasted
yeah,
it. It's
it
very
is.
good.
It's very
Yeah.
good, very good. So that's how I decided that this would be my first tequila, and I would go next year, and by February, hopefully have my anejo and my reposado, and we'll go on from there. But it'll always
So
be
even the
smooth.
Blanco, you're recommending just to have it by
Yeah,
itself.
some people have a little
Okay.
ice.
Okay.
I did something the other night, and it was great. I tried it with mint,
Okay.
and it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it straight. 'Cause it's a sipper. It's not a.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's unique because usually the white,
I
you know,
know.
is to mix, but you can do both. It
You can do
sounds like.
both,
It
yeah. Because I
sounds
do have a
like-
signature drink.
Yeah.
That we'll be doing.
Tell us
but
the signature drink.
It is called Unbreakable. Because the
Unbreakable.
motto.
Ooh, unbreakable.
Yeah,
I
the
like
motto
that.
for my tequila is bonds that are unbreakable are made with Hermanas Amigas Tequila.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Repeat that. Repeat that for us.
Bonds that are unbreakable are made with Hermanas Amigas Tequila.
I love that. I love that.
So that's just
1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, that's right. Anytime it's unbreakable.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I know you're involved with us on the fashion side.
Yes, I can't
So,
wait.
yeah, you know, with Runway Latinx, we do fashion, gastronomy, mixology, and entertainment. So
Yes.
that's been kind of our motto, our slogan for a long time since we started. We're in our 5th year, and we're so proud to have you to be a part of that.
so proud
And
to
it
be
falls
a
right
part
in
of
line
it.
because,
Yes.
you know, our proceeds go to Pivoting in Heels.
Yes, and we're wearing our heels.
And they're all wearing our
And
heels.
They're all
We're
wearing their
our
heels,
right?
yeah.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. And tell me, how do you expect this to be an impact on other people's lives?
I expect it to be an impact on women's lives and young girls' life to see that anything is possible. This woman from the south, this widow from the south side of Chicago, decided to go out and do a tequila, and she did it. And so I just believe that anything is possible.
Let's talk a little bit about that, though, because anything is possible,
It is.
but it doesn't just come
Hard
to you,
work,
right?
no.
So tell us a little bit on the major things that you've done in your life, because it sounds like you've done a lot of them.
I've done a lot of them.
You know, what is that process for you? Is it visualizing? Is it praying? Is it
Yeah.
sketching out, you know, what you want to do? Is it writing it out? Is it talking it out to somebody? What, you know, what is it? And I know my processes have evolved over the
Yes.
years. They've changed. They've gotten better, easier, faster to get the things that, you know, I visualize and want to manifest. But what is the process that you?
Well, I truly believe in manifestation.
Okay.
And I definitely have a relationship with God. But this, I was speaking to my sister who's a minister, a priest, and I said, I don't know if God works in the alcohol industry, but I prayed one night. I said, you know, I want to do another business, and I want to do something that I like, because I love people. I love meeting people. I love inspiring and talking to people. And I had been, you know, communicating back and forth for 3 years with this distillery in Mexico.
Oh,
and
okay.
so one night I'm in California, and I'm like, okay, Becky's going to be graduating from college. Toya, you need to do something. You're helping everyone else pursue their dreams of becoming a doctor in the U.S. You know, they're already doctors in their country, but you're helping them become licensed physicians. What do you want to do now to fill you? And
So you're asking yourself
I'm
this
asking
question.
I'm laying in my
right?
bed,
Yes.
asking myself this question.
Yes.
And
I have so many
prayed.
conversations with myself in my
Yes,
bed.
you have
They're the
to.
best conversations.
And so I believe my conversation I believe was with God, and I said, God, I need to know what is it I'm to do next. Where do I go from here? And the next morning, believe it or not, I got an email from the master distiller, and he's like, Toya, we've been talking for 3 years. Are you still interested in doing this? Your idea was fantastic. And I said, okay, God, I hear you.
You know, and I 100% believe in that
It's the
because
truth.
sometimes you've just got to let it go and put it in the bigger hands that are
Yeah.
out there, God, universe,
The
and then just
whatever
let
you
it go.
believe, and I let it go.
Because you got to work at it.
do.
You know what you want, but sometimes what you're asking for is not exactly what you're supposed to get.
No, it's not.
And it may come, in a different way. So,
It does.
so you get this call. And-
Email, and I'm going to frame it. I told my
Okay,
daughter, it was
okay.
from 2021, okay? And it was an email. And right then I said, okay, God, I don't know if you're in the alcohol business, but I prayed, and I want to do this. And I made the phone call.
Well, God is in the miracle
Yeah,
business,
he
right? So
is.
that business
And-
is
Yeah, and so
he or
that's,
she, isn't it?
so it was a spiritual connection that I believe led me to do this.
Yeah.
And I believe that's why it's so well received now, because I'm being led. I believe I'm being led to do this. I want to do this. I want young girls of all colors, to see hard work, prayer, perseverance, believing that you can do this. And especially if it's something you want to do. And that's the thing. You have to want to do it. And it's very hard. It's not easy. So many nights I called my sister crying.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this. I don't know what they're talking about.
I got to tell you, I do all these projects, and people who work with me know it's like, it's so many different things, and I tend to move really quickly. And I call my mom a lot, and God bless her, because she'll go, this always happens to you. It gets tough, and it gets hard,
Yes.
and you always get through it. So just get on it. Like, she doesn't
I know,
even let
right?
me,
Yeah.
for a second feel sorry for myself, like, at all. She's
No.
like, you got to get on it.
You
Like,
gotta get on
get
it.
back on it. And
Yeah.
she's an entrepreneur as well. We had businesses, growing
Mm-hmm.
up. But that's the thing, you've got to work hard, and it's amazing, like, the ideas, they come out of nowhere, or
just came
doors
out of
open up,
nowhere.
just if you keep moving it forward.
They do.
You can't allow yourself to be stagnant. And I many times feel like you, is that you don't have the time to, swallow in your grief. It's
don't.
unfortunate, but you just don't have the
Exactly.
time.
You don't have the time.
You have people that depend on you.
Yes.
You have, a lot of things to do that you have to accomplish. I think that's what makes life so exciting, is that you put these challenges in front of you, and you've got a lot of people watching.
Yes.
A lot of, like you're saying, young girls. For me, it's young people, because we have so many young people, like, involved in what we do.
Oh, great.
And they're watching what we're doing. And you have to do it, I think, in a certain way, ethical, moral way.
Exactly.
But you got to keep it moving, because your success can really impact their success.
Definitely.
So that is really fantastic, that you kept
Definitely.
yourself moving forward,
Yeah.
and never lost the vision. Again,
And you get tired. And
Yeah,
you
you get
get
tired.
down, and you want to stop, but then tomorrow's a new day.
Our theme for Runway Latinx this year was shadows in the light.
Yeah.
And the reason for the theme is that, I think we are always looking for the light, but then we forget that the shadows, be it, when you're taking photographs, when you're creating fashion, they're what makes things interesting.
Exactly.
They're the ones that you learn from, right? If you don't have if you have a plain fabric, and you don't have any folds in it, any stitches in it, any, things that make it somewhat unique, it's like kind of blah.
Yes.
And it's
for
those,
sure.
right? It's those things, and those shadows are really what you learn from.
Yes.
And that's what allows you to really see that the light is so much better.
It is.
You really appreciate it then
Yes,
when
you
get
do.
it, right?
And yes.
So
yes,
that,
you do.
Obviously you went through some shadows.
I did. And still.
Yeah, and still. And we will continue
And we will
to go through
continue.
some. What do you envision yourself doing maybe in the next 3 years?
Oh God.
If you had your way.
If I had my way, I would definitely, I definitely envision myself growing my tequila business. I definitely envision myself doing camps, doing speeches, empowering. You know, today's generation, I feel they need to know their worth. Their worth. So I really want to implode in them the worth that you're worthy. That's it. You're worthy. So I want to really reach out to the next generation. My daughter's 21. She's graduating in May. She's going to go get her MBA. I said, fine, go get it so you can learn the business. But then she said, but Mom, I want the doctor in front of my name, so I'm going to go for my PhD. I said, go for it.
Yes, yes.
You know, go for it.
Yeah.
And so I think we need that. And so I would definitely do a organization, philanthropy, just to give back, you know, to the next generation of not just brown and black, but all women, young
Yes.
girls.
Yes.
You know, because I think they need that, and I think that's not being pushed enough.
I think women definitely, we still need it. You know,
Yes.
brown, black, everybody, because
Everyone.
equal pay, we don't
Yes,
have it.
we don't have
right?
it.
Women of color have it even less. And things aren't getting easier for women. And so I think, you know, if we're at the forefront, we've got to keep pushing and getting, you know, young women, young girls
do.
to understand that they have the power. You know, just like we talked about, if you have a vision and you believe in yourself and then you work hard toward it and then you let it go and you trust, you know, the bigger
picture. But why I think it's so important, because working in county hospitals, most of the hospitals, south side of Chicago, that's not being put into these girls' mind.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't know.
No, it is
So
not.
how can they get out here and change the world if they haven't been told they can?
So that's
our job.
That's our job. Honestly, that's one of the reasons we started Pivoting in Heels at the beginning of it. So my daughter called me. She was at University of Michigan, and she was here in Chicago High School. She went to Walter Payton.
Yeah.
So it's a small, you know, good, very good high
very
school.
good school.
But then she goes to University of Michigan. And that was her choice. She was accepted
Yeah.
in a bunch of universities. And she was lost, to be honest with you. It was, you know, big campus.
Yes.
And the universities aren't always what you think they should be. There's not always great things. They're learning, but they're also learning a lot of other things that are tough. You know, they're being faced with questions of sex, questions of drinking, questions of partying, questions of this, and, you know, how do you handle it, right? And so we talked, and she said, Mom, there's no one place that we can go to as young women that is digital. So that's why Pivoting in Heels is a digital non-for-profit, where we can go and then hear stories and ideas of women
Exactly.
that are out there that have faced some of these challenges and just the way they dealt with them, right? And so that's why initially we started, you know, Pivoting in Heels as a digital non-for-profit, so we were able to communicate, you know, just different stories. So
Yeah. That's
so I
great.
think what you're doing is super important.
Oh, thank you.
You got an hermana here.
Yes, awesome.
Amiga, una
Yes,
hermana. You
that's
know, you
right.
got one here. Want to support you, you know, on your business. I'm a
Oh,
big
thank
supporter
you.
of women in business. I'm on the board of Women's Business Development
Awesome.
Center. And so I think, you know, that if you empower women with being able to make their own money,
Yes.
then they can make their own choices.
I am a
which is really great.
cheerleader of everyone, every woman that I meet. And that's what they always say, you're such a cheerleader of us. Now let us be a cheerleader for you.
Yes.
And I truly believe that.
And we have to be cheerleaders
We
for each
do.
other.
We have
Do you have a
to.
message that you want to leave our audience
God,
with?
The message that I would leave with, I always leave with when my girlfriends leave my home, or young girls that I talk to. The message is, believe in yourself, know your worth, and the sky is truly the limit.
And you are an example of that.
And I'm almost there. I believe in myself. I know the sky is the limit, but I do know I'm worthy.
I love that.
Okay,
I love that.
I do know I'm worthy.
Well, thank you. Thanks for being
Arabel,
with us
Thank you
today.
for having
Thank
me.
you.
It's been fantastic. Thank
I
you.
love it. And I love this bottle. Congratulations.
thank you so
and
much.
the tequila as well.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Chic Innovator. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free.